how's it going? Hope all is well. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here with a new video, and today I wanted to talk about, I would hate to say this, I want to talk about Oprah because I love Oprah so much. I love Oprah a lot. Like, Oprah, Miss Oprah Winfrey is like so legendary, and you know it's the month of women. She is so legendary, but one thing we got to call out is this whole situation that's going on with Michael Jackson. Now, when I first seen that she was doing the interviews for the accusers, I didn't know what was going on. I really didn't know. Like, I was like, is this real? Like, is this real? Like, this is really going on right now? So I was just looking up stuff and I was reading stuff, and I'm just like, let me search and search and search. I had to go on Oprah's page. I had to go on the OWN network page. Then I started to go to Entertainment Tonight. Like, everybody been covering this, People magazine and all that. So I was just like, do she really know what she's getting herself into? And I honestly wanted to know, did she actually believe the accusers, or do you believe MJ? So I wanted to read this article and exactly what Oprah said, because Oprah don't care how we feel. She said she gonna do what she wanna do, and it is what it is, and she said what she said. So this is exactly what she said. This is the article. The media mogul admitted that she prepared for some backlash with her new special after Neverland, an interview with two men who have accused Michael Jackson of sexually abusing them when they were boys. During the show taping on Wednesday at New York City Times Center, she told the audience that she was aware of the controversy she was walking into. The talk show host also argued, however, first of all, see, this is why I don't like a lot of white publications, because Oprah is more than a talk show host, but maybe they talking about the job that she was doing right there. Maybe they should say the black billionaire argued, however, that the issue of sexual abuse is too important to remain silent, despite how much it may anger fans of Jackson. She said, the movie transcends Michael Jackson. It allows us to see societal corruption. Miss Winfrey made it clear during the taping that she believed Jackson's accuser, Wade Robinson and James Safechuck, who joined her on stage. The director of HBO's Leaving Neverland documentary, Dan Reed, was also present at the program, which will air on March 4th. Beware of the people who just want to be around your children, Winfrey said. Leaving Neverland has been met with some pushback because the Jackson family and his estate, they do not want this to air. They have issued their rebuttals, and they're tired, and they sick and tired. And if you really want to see interview, you need to go to the Breakfast Club and look at the interview that his nephew did, because it's really, really, really good. Like, he went in, he was talking about how the FBI was, you know, doing investigations on him for 10 plus years, never found anything on him, like, going in. The estate has filed a $100 million lawsuit against HBO in February, claiming that the network violated a 1992 contract it had with Jackson, and that the documentary is nothing but unvetted propaganda to shamelessly exploit an innocent man no longer here to defend himself. So I had to go ahead and look at the verdict. I do know he was acquitted, and I do know that the boy went on stand. Wade, he did go on stand and say that he never got touched. So let's read the verdict real quick, and then we're going to talk about this together. The jury deliberated for about 32 hours over 7 days. On the initial vote, 9 jurors voted to acquit Jackson, while 3 voted that he was guilty. On June 14, 2005, they returned with a verdict of not guilty on all charges. Years later, one of the jurors said in his gut feeling he believed that Jackson did molest the children, but supported the non-guilty decision as he felt that the prosecution had not provided evidence beyond a reasonable doubt. And let's talk about Wade Robinson, because he goes back and forth. Like, Wade Robinson, first he said he was, then he said he wasn't, then he said he was, and then he said he wasn't. So one thing I found interesting when I was looking up the Michael Jackson case and I was looking up the two abusers, in 2011, Wade Robinson actually tried to work with Michael Jackson again and choreograph his tour. but he was not picked. Now in 2019, you're coming out with a documentary about the situation that happened. Now, I'm not saying this thing is a money thing, but I'm just saying it's very, very weird. And I don't, like, to be honest, I'm not a victim shamer. If it happened, I'm completely, like, I'm sorry that anybody goes through stuff like that, because that is very terrible. That's very sad. But this is very questionable. In 2011, choreographer Wade Robinson, who had testified in the trial that Jackson had not molested him, approached the Jackson estate to direct the production Michael Jackson, The Immortal World, but he was not selected. In 2012, they said his career began to crumble and he had a breakdown. He failed to find a publisher that would agree to write a book about Jackson's abuse. Now, in May 2013, he filed a $1.5 billion civil lawsuit against the Jackson estate, claiming that Jackson did molest him over 7 years when he was a child. During the trial, Robinson, as an adult, testified under oath that Jackson had never molested him. After Jackson's death, he wrote a tribute describing him as the pure goodness of human mankind. Now, in 2015, Judge Mitchell dismissed the lawsuit, saying that Robinson had waited too long to make the lawsuit. Now, let's talk about the other guy, because I never really heard anything about the other guy. I do know Wade Robinson because, of course, you know, I was a dancer back in my heydays. So in 2013, another man who had spent time with Jackson as a child, James Safechuck, filed suit with the same lawyer as Robinson. That was the problem right there. Safechuck claimed he realized he had been abused when he heard Robinson's allegations. He alleged that he had been sexually abused by Jackson for over 100 times in a 4-year period, and then he had become brainwashed into believing that the incidents were acts of love. The lawsuit was dismissed in 2017. Those are, I found that was very interesting about the two guys or whatever, and the fact that they had these civil suits and things of that sort. Like, a lot of this stuff is just so crazy. Like, when situations and stuff like that happens and the person is not here to defend themselves, it's so, like, it's a very nasty game. It's really a nasty game, especially being that that man went to jail over it. Then he was in court, had battles and battles of years in court over this stuff. He had the public shaming him. He had the public judgment. And now the fact that he is dead and gone. Y'all, this man is gone. And he can't even rest in peace. People are still coming for him. And to be honest, like, all that stuff, even with like, Michael Jackson is a legend. Like, he is really, really a legend. Like, I listen to his music and I see some of his videos and stuff like that, even though, like, you know, I was completely young and stuff like that. It's timeless. Like, his stuff is timeless. And I honestly feel like they always want to mess up a legend. Now, the only flip side to something like this, because we love Michael Jackson, of course, like they said, for his celebrity, we love his music, we love all of this. I want to know what exactly, and I'm not going to watch the documentary. I'm really not. I can't do too much of that stuff. Like, honestly, the R. Kelly documentary did it for me. I can't do too much of that. It messes up my mental, and it just makes me, like, go into deep depression. I don't want to do it. I can't do it. But my thing is that when all this stuff comes out, you know, I just be wanting to know, like, are these people seeking help? Like, are these people seeking help all these years? If you knew or you had some type of abuse that happened to you 3-4 years old and stuff like that, you are now 30 plus years old. Have you, during that time period, ever sought help? Have you ever talked to somebody? Have you ever, you know, actually sat down and really, like, because even being that young at that age, you know, being around a grown man and stuff like that, and again, like, when stuff like this happen, I blame the parents. A lot of times I blame the parents. Why? And then one of the guys I was reading how his dad, he said that his dad made him lie so that he could get money from Michael Jackson. Like, that's why I'm like, this sounds like a money game, but then again, you don't want to not believe the victim. So what do you do in situations like this? If this was somebody you know, what would you do? If somebody you knew had a situation where they were abused by somebody of a celebrity status that the world loved, but they had testified and said, you know, this didn't happen to me when it really did happen to me, you know, what would you do? Because I feel like it's a lot of times where, you know, sometimes that do happen. Sometimes people testify and say, no, it wasn't me, no, it didn't happen, because they don't want to be shamed. They don't want to, like, you know, they don't want to be looked at a certain way, so they lie. So what if? Like, I mean, I'm just like, what in the world? Like, I don't know, but I honestly believe, like, after someone passed away and they cannot defend themselves, I do not see how they have liberty to go to court or to make these documentaries, make these films without the approval of the people's estate. Like, I don't see how that's even possible. I just don't like that. I mean, I don't like that. That man was going through when he was alive. Now he got to go through when he dead. Like, that's just the sad part. And for Oprah, out of all people, it made me kind of, you know, look at Monique and be like, what you know that we don't know? Because she flat out and said she believed him. So I want to know where this all this at, because I'm like, I would have never thought Auntie Oprah would do it. Honestly, I would have thought, because it's not the money. It's not the money. Like, I honestly believe that Oprah probably knows some stuff that we don't know, because Oprah really believed him. You know, she don't need for nothing. She don't want for nothing. She ain't got to have nothing. So she really doing this because she honestly believed the accusers. And I've seen interviews with Oprah and Michael Jackson, and I never really thought the interviews were, you know, tasteless or she was nasty to him or anything like that. So I don't think she has a vendetta. So I don't know. Y'all let me know how y'all feel down below. This is a whole lot. So y'all let me know how y'all feel. Do y'all think Oprah is right, or do y'all think Oprah is wrong? And are you guys going to watch the documentary? Do you think it's out of place? Do you think it's out of whack? Like, tell me your honest and true thoughts about this whole situation, because to me, it makes my mind go everywhere. It's just a lot. But bye, guys. Thanks so much for watching.
Can we stay home tonight? Try something new tonight. Hey, this drink got me feeling right.